Okay, we are recording. So here's the part, the hemp analysis workshop that we will begin to do. And I'll share the screen, go to the slides, move you guys over, and here we go. Let me get to the point to where I'm actually, have you guys seen the darn slides? Right? Okay, I got it backwards again. And we'll end up finish up with this. So really, let me see what I got. All right. So the workshop is going to be where this is very tangible stuff you look at, and you'll start to see how looking at data and just putting that data either within however you see fit. And really, what it is honestly, if you guys come across anything that is on digital uh, aspects or format, in regards to the amount of hemp that's like been grown since 2012 and legalization of marijuana or cannabis in 2020. Oh God, what did I just say? 2012, Colorado State. Oh God. Um, if you see a data format in these particular modes from online, or even the links I've given you since the beginning of the semester or anywhere else, I'll give you examples of where, like the U.S. Department of Agriculture or Colorado State of Colorado's Department of Agriculture or Department of Labor, Colorado State's Department of Labor. Um, if you come across like for this geospatial software program that's ARCIS called Geographic Information System, ARCIS, if you see file extension MXD and KMZ, let me know. And I have this and I can upload and I'll bring it up and see and send it to you, at least a snapshot of it or what it looks like. So it could be where to the endpoint is to find right now this agricultural season, like this should be harvest season, July, August in Arkansas Valley of hemp. So where is hemp being grown? But also in the labor part, you can find where there are migrant workers, finding a number of migrant workers who are working the harvest season. But also probably more basic, I don't know if you guys use Google Earth or KMZ file extension. Bring up that, spatial, the boundaries of the county or something and shows amount of people working, migrant workers, or just showing hemp. You So that's kind of the endpoint. We don't have to get into it right now. But if you see these, let me know related to those particular things, hemp or labor data tied into hemp, or even with anything else like what's being grown that still requires labor, like onions. Onions are still being grown. There's still cantaloupe. Yeah. Let me get back real quick. Um, I don't know why I keep pulling myself out from my slides because I hit escape. First of all, what is industrial hemp cannabis? With tetrahydrocannabinol below 0.3%, that's dry weight, below 0.3%. All right. As cannabis above 0.3%, of course, is the psychoactive uh, towards living beings and animals and human beings, and that's marijuana. Of course, we can go into all the different terms of marijuana, but that's the psychoactive portion, actual effect on living beings, especially humans. But of course, cannabinol is also used as medicinal, CBD oil. I heard, I go to the fitness center, they sell a CBD oil for, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess for knee pain or something like that, or as a nutritional supplement. I don't know. But any or medicinal also as far as cannabis, other than CBD or both. I'm not sure. But it's the agricultural thing is where I think somebody discussed it where you cannot grow the two together or very close because there you go. Don has described that where you cannot grow hemp and marijuana close together. And Pueblo County has actually buffer zone. I'm sure Arkansas Valley and other respective counties have this problem. You cannot grow them close together. So it's really just the industrial hemp part and that we look at. So the problem legally and agriculturally, you can't grow them together legally anyways, because, well, then you'll have the law enforcement agencies coming at you. And from what I understand is that this information that like the Colorado Department of Agriculture has currently, those farmers growing hemp, industrial hemp, is proprietary and will not, it cannot be divulged out to the public. Only ones they is only like law enforcement agencies are only ones because that way they can make sure they're not growing hemp that turns around and being marijuana. And you can now can see the problem now and how much vulnerability there is with that, with the farmers growing hemp because it somebody out there just is growing marijuana for that medicinal portion. So agriculture, but also those just growing individually or for medicinal purposes. You see now this conflict within space, that agricultural space, agricultural area. All right, so really tell you honest the truth, hence why the university has formed the Institute of Cannabis Research and how that has supported this class, the design of this class, but the extent of the impact of cannabis historically since legalization in Colorado since 2012, not much, not much at all. Honestly, there isn't much. There's a lot of scientific or biological or what plant agricultural looking at, but not much as far as, like I just stated, the historical impact. Um, I look at, I'll put this on the Zotero and Blackboard. Really, they came out with 2017 a report on the impact, social, economic impact of just marijuana use there in Pueblo County. And I'll put this up. Judy Baca, the Chicano Studies Coordinator, collaborated with this a little bit on the social use survey, actually did a survey. So that's a little bit beyond what we need to consider. Let's not dwell too much on the marijuana part. That's more so. That's more. Yeah, that's more legal. We don't. I'm talking more in the hemp. So that's where I'm focused, you guys, on. I don't really need a comparative between hemp and marijuana. That's not what I'm looking for. So yeah, don't worry about that. Um, Unless you see it there within Arkansas Valley, a farmer doing both or something. I mean, I don't know. If you see that specific separation, let me know. Okay, so that's basically what I have for right now. And well, let me reiterate that. Let me see. So before I finish off, I'll brought you guys back. And the aspect is, here's the deal. You guys could get on to the Colorado State Department of Agriculture's website and go to their link to hemp, which has a lot of stuff. You can also check who's registered, which farmers or which business is registered to grow hemp. I already talked to the program manager. His name, let's see, where's my paperwork? You can go there and find it yourself, see who's registered, who's growing, and it has their name and area where they are growing. Well, not specific field. That's the proprietary part. Quite frankly, it's only CSU Fort Collins that has that information. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to find them so they're part of the note. Okay. So information specific as to which farmer's field and acreage, that spatial consideration is not allowed to be put forth towards the public because it's called proprietary confidential information. They've had to do they do have a memorandum of understanding with CSU Fort Collins. Those two guys are up at CSU Fort Collins are Daniel Mooney and Don Tillamy. They're probably the professor teachers, or I'm not sure if they're researchers, agricultural type up there, who gathered this information, but with agreed not to divulge it to the main public. I argued for educational purposes for that information, but the guy at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, what's his name? Uh, yeah, I can't remember right now. Mr. Koontz, I know that much. Yeah. So go to their website, U.S. Colorado Department of Agriculture, their hemp link, and you can. He's saying look at who's registered now, and maybe we can at least do something. I can develop myself with your data, what you bring. I can do something up on Arcus myself, and at least give you a visualization. I'll be willing to work with you on that. I'll be your research assistant. I know it's kind of a reverse of roles, but what we're looking at is whether or not we can find. Okay, so there's also the labor part. There is a part that you have contact with. Um, what's her name? You can go to the Colorado State Department of Agriculture website and track who's registered for currently migrant workers, or the contractors who hire migrant workers for the farmers. Farmers don't directly hire; they work through the migrant contract worker, and they're the ones who both need to be registered with the state, but also with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Um, and that's something that we'll continue to talk about on Thursday as to what is expected of the hemp analysis is to find the numbers, at least, of this season's or the last few years since legalization of hemp in Arkansas Valley, and then the amount of migrant workers and the impact that, well, I will still owe you Thursday some information on losing track uh, of those migrant workers who were working out in the fields with hemp, especially like last year. And there's been a very recent development as far as looking at um, the abilities of farmers to grow hemp and then using federal subsidies. Well, until this last year, or yeah, that not only was that finally agreed upon, and then they opened the window requiring them tracking migrant workers. And where am I going with that? You know, I'm going where, again, the aspects of human rights and what social need and social support is needed, is how that was lost through some legal federal loophole in regards to that social support. For example, child education and housing, adequate housing, standard. Okay, that's, I'll hang up. Okay, so that is what, oh, and by the way, what I'm talking about is me assisting you with the chart diagram or map with that. Then, or if it's hard data with the county, the number of farmers or name of farmers, location, and the migrant workers, number of migrant workers, with both, and bring them together, okay, and then we will visualize that geospatial. I'll use Arcus. I have Arcus, and I hope you guys are. That's probably the first time I'm giving you guys very specific data that you need and go find. Go with what's already been pushed out since the beginning, but go with the other labor and agricultural departments at the state and federal level. And there is, I keep freaking, what's her name? The term that's used at the Colorado Department of Labor Yeah, her name, what's her name? State Monitor Advocate. She's the one that tracks migrant workers. Her name is Olga Ruiz, Ruiz. All right, Olga, Olga, Olga Ruiz. All right, her go as far as calling her up, 303-241-8511, or her just Google her name with the Colorado Department of Labor, and you pull up her email. It's olga.ruiz@co.us, co.gov, or something like that. And she's the one that manages the overall workforce centers in each area in regards to other regional or area monitor advocates in each respective county or areas, workforce center. And I will leave it at that for now. I think I had a lot to put out, and I know I'm about 5 minutes over. And I believe that I have recorded this, and I'll get this uploaded, and also along like that 2017 report and the slides about the writing workshop. So Thursday will be a little bit more. You still need to just sit down tonight or today and read this. Get to know Leno. Get to know him. This is more a personable poetry and stuff, and he's actually kind of down to earth, but very spiritual too. Hence why he's a. So this is Chicano literature. All right. This is one aspect. This is one example. Any questions? If you'd like to send me a revised discussion response number 3, you may. If you don't think you need to, that's fine. I think you'll. And I hope I gave you a good example, at least for one or two of you specifically, and then of course with whatever couple points I put in. If you even just do one or two things addressed within the workshop on your revised, then I will use that as far as your grade. Okay. You cannot move forward with right now unless I see that with considering your audience. It's really important because then we're going to look at a group of specific people who've really sacrificed their lives in a way that that needs to, their story needs to be told. Okay, guys, I think that's it. If you got any, I'll stand by. Have a good. I'll see you Thursday.
Have a good day.
Yeah. Oh man, nobody.